Hey guys, good morning. Joe here. It's a chilly Monday. You're probably seeing this on a Tuesday, but I'm doing a drive talk. I'm not in the Mustang. There's a very big reason for that, and I'll be talking about that in an upcoming video. However, right now I'm not 100% certain everything is set, so keep it in mind, and I'll be talking about it soon. But today's video in the car while I'm driving along is going to be on the Second Amendment situation that's currently going on in Virginia. As a Virginia resident who is a gun enthusiast, has a friend that owns a gun store, and has a concealed carry and a license to sell firearms, I figure I'm very well suited to making this video. Now, I haven't read every single part of the bills that are being proposed, which is kind of the way they write them on purpose to try to get as much in there to confuse everybody, so they just go blanket passed. But the main points I want to talk about, number one, is the concept of a Second Amendment sanctuary, because that's actually a very misunderstood thing. People are, at least the fearmongers on YouTube, there are some content creators that are just fearmongering, making everybody except Second Amendment people, believers, the worst people in the world. You can fearmonger if you want. I prefer to give actual information and let the chips fall where they may. In this case, over 80 counties, cities, municipalities, etc. in the state of Virginia have elected to become Second Amendment sanctuaries. What that means is they will not enforce whatever laws come across on the state level that are directly infringing on our Second Amendment constitutional rights. That being said, that isn't a free pass to not pay attention, because the counties that are inclusive of the Second Amendment sanctuaries, you're fine because they're not going to enforce them. However, for someone like me, I am on the border of Loudoun County. I live in Frederick County. Frederick County is Second Amendment sanctuary. Loudoun County is not. What that means is, if I am carrying a firearm, such as, let's say they passed the bill for the AR pistols and you can't have an AR pistol, and I have one in the trunk of the vehicle with a 30-round magazine. In my county, that's okay. They're not going to enforce it because it's not in the constitutional law. It's not in the Second Amendment that I can't have that firearm. However, if I go into Loudoun County and for some reason I get pulled over with an offense or something that allows them to search my vehicle, reckless driving, or they smell something, whatever the case may be, and they find that AR pistol in my vehicle, that's a felony. And Loudoun County has sworn to enforce whatever laws get passed. So, you have to be careful if you're a Virginian, like me, and you're going to be owning firearms that tread the line of legality after this bill goes through, and it is going through. The question is how much of the bill is going to be adopted, but it's going through. We're not going to get away from that, guys. When it goes into effect, that comes up to the second point, because the fearmonger people want you to believe that the instant this goes into effect, you will become a felon if you have any firearm that violates this law. That is absolutely false. You will have a time limit in which to remove those firearms from your possession, either by going to a gun store who has FFL. Nationwide FFLs can accept these firearms and then sell them to other places, or whatever the case may be. If they need to be destroyed, so be it. Usually it's going to be like 180 days. That's what they did with the bump stock. I almost said butt stock. Bump stocks. So a bump stock, they gave 180 days for you to surrender the bump stock. And if they find it on you after that, that's when you get into the trouble. So again, if you live in one of these counties that passes one of these, my only real opinion, stupid bills, you're going to have to pay attention to that. However, there is a silver lining for those of you that own the pistols. If they pass it as a pistol and you built your pistol, you have a way around it. Because if you bought the receiver separate from the lower, the barrel, and the buffer tube, you can actually convert a pistol into a rifle as long as your paperwork said it was sold to you just as a receiver. Because when it's sold, there's no difference in the receiver from a pistol to a rifle. However, if it was built as a pistol, such as any of the Springfield Saint line or anything like that, you will not be able to convert a pistol into a rifle even though the receiver is the same, because that's the serialized part. So, if it does pass and you have to get rid of the pistol, You can sell the barrel, you can sell the brace, and depending on what kind of brace you have on it, if you have an SB tactical brace that folds or compresses, that'll have a carbine buffer. But if not, then you'll have to get a new buffer tube. But you can change that out and have a rifle as long as that doesn't get included in the rules. Will it? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Also, and this is kind of a personal thing, I did vote, so I am allowed to complain. If you didn't vote and you're suffering because of the new bill that's going to pass, that's kind of your damn fault. Even Northam said this. He said you were allowed to vote in July, and the turnout at that time, when they thought, no, this bill is going to be impossible because before the state went fully Democratic, everybody was like, oh no, it's been 26 years. We don't have to worry about it. You got to get out and vote. You got to turn out. You got to get your voice heard, because all these Second Amendment sanctuaries, they've had thousands of people show up to these meetings in order to gain this status. So if it passes, there's going to have to be a new bill proposed next session or whenever. I'm not sure what the cycle is for state laws. Last thing I want to talk about, and again, it goes back to fear-mongering. Don't fear-monger. Especially if you're not even in this state. If you're not in this state, don't do it. Just, don't. I understand that this could set a precedent that could affect other states. Make that clear. Don't sit there and make videos talking about, oh, as soon as Virginia does it, the entire world's going to go to hell. It is going to set a precedent, and it's going to be a sucky precedent. Don't fearmonger. Get information into the hands, especially you guys out there that have tons of subscribers. Get the information out there in a way that doesn't scare your subscribers. You want that information in their hands in a way that gets them informed, so they know when to go vote, so that they know when to submit a petition, so they know how to take it the right way. Don't fearmonger. I hate fearmongering. It does nothing. It's actually anti-productive, because all of a sudden you're creating a section of people that are going to be super opposed to whatever's happening, and it's going to cause a problem. So, no fearmongering. What does it mean to me personally is probably the next question. It doesn't really apply as much to me because, number one, I already have my concealed carry, unless they decide to invalidate all concealed carries. Number two, I only own firearms that are lever action rifle, bolt action rifle, and I sold most of my handguns last year because I thought I just was done with them. I was bored. I am getting another 1911, so that will be my only carry piece, and that is a 1911 8-round capacity. It's not going to be on the docket for anybody's bill. So in that respect, it doesn't really affect me. Background checks, it may affect some people, especially if you've never bought a gun and you go in for your first gun. It could delay it quite a bit. It could also cause issues for younger purchasers, because in the state of Virginia right now, if you're 18 or over, you can buy a long gun, an AR-15, a shotgun, whatever the case may be. With the new bill proposed, you have to be 21 or older. I think it's actually you have to be over 21. I'm not sure the exact wordage. You'd have to double check me on that. So that's going to affect people. It's going to affect the ability to allow younger people to shoot firearms on their own. It's going to affect a lot of stuff. My brain just stopped. I'm sorry, I'm doing this as a one take, so if I stop, that's why. But in general, the infringements on the Second Amendments that are in place, it's about the militia being able to come together. They're trying to limit you to less than 2 people, and you can't be threatening people. But the problem is there's no real definition on what a threat is. So if somebody's standing outside of, say, City Hall with a sign saying this sucks, and 3 people are there, and you're armed, and somebody says, I feel threatened, then you can get in trouble. It's like a South Park episode. Oh no, that bear's rushing me. And then they shot a bear that was sleeping. It's that kind of thing. And it's going to suck in that respect too, because you're going to have a lot of people that are going to just be willy-nilly doing that, and that's going to suck. Yeah, so that's my late opinion. I wanted to wait until I watched a lot of videos and did some reading on the laws before I made any kind of statement myself. And now that I have, let me know what you think. Are you in Virginia? Are you affected by this? Are you in one of the, I believe, 5 counties that flat out denied Second Amendment sanctuaries? What are you going to do? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good jazz. We're gaining subscribers pretty good. It's a good, steady clip, and I want to see that grow, especially going into 2020. And this is the last video, probably before the end of the year. So if I don't see you again, have a safe and happy holidays. Hang out with your friends. Have a good time. Be responsible. and I'll talk to you later.